a lot of wig work today. This process isn't the most fun, it's rather tedious and boring, but it gives you a much less of a harsh edge. Got hair in my mouth. But one thing you'll do as you go along is you'll clean up, because depending on the adhesive you used to bond, you'll get a couple little white spots from the styling.
Okay, so that's now cut off there. And one thing you might have noticed as soon as I finished cutting this thing off is I sanded it. It is kind of rough. Most of the rough parts were on the piece that got cut off here. I might still have a use for this thing, so I will go ahead and keep it. It's a decent size thing. If anything, it can be used for paint jigs and shit like that later.
Cosplaying promotes hoarding.
Yeah, I try not to hoard minuscule sized pieces though that I just can't use for anything.
Except for
however,
fabric.
I think
you can use those as patches.
Dezzy brought up when she was over here. This is a paint jig that I rigged up for painting this about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago or something like that. These are some of the spare 3/4 inch caps that I have here. They're just screwed down onto this thing. And I think she saw this little bitty piece of 3/4 inch PVC when she was here. I was like, why do you keep that? And this is why, because one of these pieces here is going to have a coupler permanently glued onto it. And that coupler still needs to get painted, so that will fit on here, while the other part will still fit, slide down into the cap there. And that'll just hold it up so I can paint it. And that's why I keep little bitty pieces like that sometimes. It's just for paint jigs and shit like that. Will they ever have any other structural purpose? Probably not, no, because once I use it for a paint jig, I probably won't use it ever for anything else because it's coated with a shitload of paint it doesn't need. One of the other little tools we're going to need here, or I call it a tool, you could call it a material. I actually have it on the material list here. Is PVC primer and cement. You can get this stuff at Home Depot. It's like $8, $8 or $9 for this, for both of these. It comes like a little box like this here. For those of you that haven't ever tuned in before, probably not, because this is our first time doing this on Dezzy's channel instead of mine. I don't get paid sponsorship or anything like that. I just tell you where I get the crap.
Maybe one day we can.
Half the time I get my crap from Home Depot. Like, all of this stuff is from Home Depot. That is what my parts list is, my material list is based off of, minus my tools and stuff. Most of that crap's from Harbor Freight, because I'm a cheap bastard. The main reason I go to Home Depot is because, for one, it's a little bit closer, and for two, I don't get shipped for service at Lowe's, because half the time when I'm getting PVC, I do need it cut, and nobody's around to help me out with that. At Home Depot, I can't go 5 minutes without somebody asking me if I need any help with anything. Yes, it can get annoying, but it's also really awesome the fact that somebody's there when I need them. What I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put some primer here. It's the purple stuff on both. Hang on a sec. I need to get something to do this over. Aha! Okay. We're going to want to do this on 2 pieces here. I'll flip this over because I know that it's silver and shiny. On 2 pieces here, this is one of the reducer caps, and this is one of the couplers here, the 2-inch couplers. We're just going to attach it, and these are going to get bonded together forever. Not all of these pieces have to be done this way. This is actually totally optional. If you don't feel like spending $8 on this, you're only going to use this PVC once. Use it again, whatever. Whatever your reason is, it's optional. I have it because I used it for my lightsabers that I made for Tyler Comic Con this year, or last year now. And so those are already a thing that I have. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and prime both of these at the end. What the primer here is for is it's not like a paint primer, like some of you might think. This is a cement primer. It is not good for paint at all. Like, you don't want this crap on paint either because it will
ruin the paint job.
It will easily tear that shit up. It will destroy it. Like, I actually just went over some blue Sharpie, and you can actually see blue in this now. It is that potent. Normally, I would say if you are in a closed area, do wear a respirator. I imagine this crap is bad for you, just because I've used it before without my fan on here, with the garage door even open, and it sucks. Or no, it was closed, but it sucked. I typically wear a respirator for this. This is about the only thing you need to do that I'm going to do that will require a respirator, but that's only if you're in a closed space. I've got my fan blowing, so it's blowing all the fumes that way. Fans in here because it's hot as hell. This is Texas, and it is humid over in Long Beach here.
And it's also May in Texas.
Yes. Actually, it's been feeling pretty good this last couple of weeks here. So it's been like perfect painting weather this past week. I did finish up my crow sword, and I'm going to give those a minute or two to set. And while that's going...
show off the crow sword?
No, actually. That doesn't even get posted. I've only shared that with you, Mark, and Chelsea. And Jennifer, I think. I think I shared it with Jennifer, one of my other prop buddies. And Eric, I shared it with him. The main reason I'm sharing it only with them right now and not publicly is just because I want my customer to have, he got the first eyes on this thing. But one other thing I wanted to go over real quick is this thing here. This is a little toy rifle.
I'm covered in hair.
That I got at a local party store. And this is for our cloud that will be joining us at A-Kon. This started off as like a camouflage color, and I hit it with some primer, satin black paint, and then weathered the crap out of it. Because Cloud was a very clumsy and shitty guard. Let's all face it, he was. And yeah, there it is now. And I think I coated it in a... Was it gloss? Yeah, I think it was gloss. Yeah, something like that. I didn't coat it very well because I wanted it to look oily and shitty in this case. So some parts of it are a little bit better than others. But yeah, this was a very quick, like 2 or 3 day thing on the side while I was working on Zach's stuff. So I can show off his belts and everything in a minute. once I get to another little stopping point where I gotta wait for crap. But at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and what we're gonna do is we're going to put. I need to prime this part too. Forgot about that. I put these together earlier, and at first I could kind of take them off, but I kind of pushed it together too hard last time I put it together, and now I can't get them apart, so that those little pieces don't get primed or anything. Sometimes I have this luck where I don't have to prime it and cement it. Other times I've tried doing that and things have come apart pretty easily. So use your best judgment on that and go from there. The reason I didn't use reducers that went straight over my 2-inch PVC here is just because they didn't have it. So I had to get little reducer caps that went down to 3/4 inch and the little couplers there.
Okay, so now if you can see, here is the exact hairline. It is not lace front perfect because obviously I would need a lace front for that. But it gives you that dramatic style that, you know, we see in all that Final Fantasy artwork. And I am very itchy because now I'm covered in hair. 'Tis an occupational hazard when it comes to wig styling.
Not my fault. Tucker did it.
What?
Said not my fault. Tucker did it.
Oh, you're so lame, but you're cute.
Ah, shit, you didn't get the Red versus Blue reference.
So, am I gonna start speaking like, oh my god, I can't remember his name anymore. It's been a long time since I watched Red versus Blue. The Mexican.
Mexican robot?
Yes. What was his name, babe?
I can't remember. That was Lopez.
Lopez, thank you.
No, this was actually a line from Caboose.
I loved
Because
Caboose.
of course Caboose blames everything on Tucker. Now that my dumbass totally forgot about those little parts there, you gotta prime both sides of the coupler here. So, while that is doing this thing, I'm actually going to pan this up. Ooh.
Hi there.
Show off this thing. Because I love showing off my work. That's why I go to cons. This is my little body form here that Dezzy helped me out with making. And these, and on it, are my pauldrons and belts and everything. The pauldrons are made out of EVA foam, and the belts are all made out of leather, cowhide leather, that Dezzy sent me.
I'm a good girlfriend.
They are tooled in. My camera sucks, so you can't really see them all. The straps are removable from this entirely, as well as the back buckle here can be removed, changed out, and everything. The buckles and rings here are all made out of PVC, Sintra, just because I don't have the crap to do metalworking, and like a ring or some shit like that. And the reason these are removable instead of riveted on there is, first of all, better appearance, because this is actually how my reference pictures look with the big button-looking thing on there, or snap. The other reason is because I'm going to reuse these. I put a shitload of work into this leather. This is cut from about a $90 hide of leather here, so
You're
I'm
welcome.
going to reuse it for a cloud.
I am best girlfriend.
So the pauldrons actually are removable as well. So this was my first time like tooling and dyeing leather and everything. So it was an interesting project that took me a couple of weeks, or about a month actually, to get it right and get it done and everything. But now that it is, I'm very proud of this thing. I don't think that's even including the pauldrons here. The pauldrons took a while because I am shit at armor making.
He used my head as a model.
Yeah, if you go through my album and see my Zach Fair Work in Progress album, you can actually see a picture of Dezzy wearing one of these on her head. Because I ended up putting them up and I was like, hey, you're going to wear this as a hat because you don't look like you got anything going on.
Shut up.
That was my exact thought process.
My boyfriend is an asshole. God.
Yep. Isn't that why you love me?
Partially. Actually, yeah, we have the same jackass sense of humor.
Alright, so that's close enough for it.
Okay. I'm working on a female General Zod wig commission for Evil Sinestra cosplay. And basically, I'm taking an Arda Wigs Rocky. If you can't tell, I really like Arda. Arda and the Five Wits are two of my favorite. So I'm taking a Rocky and these black wefts, and I'm going to use my machine to sew extensions into the wig so it's long. And I'm trying to find my little foot pedal because I can't find it. I think it's under my seat. No? Yes? It's under my seat. There we go. And then I have...
So this doesn't take a lot of... And you just got to put it on one side, I do believe. So I put some cement in the couplers. And so I'm going to attach one side here. And we're going to push it down with a hammer. Because I want it in there really good and tight.
That's what he said. Oh, I'm immature. Don't judge me.
I'm judging.
You're the one who asked me out, damn it.
The hammering thing is totally optional here. But it works. So we're just going to attach this part now. And I'm going to try keep this nice and even.
So right now I'm sewing 2 tracks of wefts together just so I have like a uniform little thing. And as I go, some of the hair I'm going to trim off the extension because I cut it too long. But it's pretty much so they don't shift and I can do multiple layers of hair at a time. So it's a little bit faster on the wig process and my customer can get their wig sooner. Just be careful when you sew hair extensions on your machine because sometimes they will catch, and that's just why I'm having a little bit of trouble with these tracks right now because they're catching and shifting. So I'm going to grab some pins and see if that helps. And just your standard straight stitch with your end and start back tack will hold it together.
So now you should have, at this point, 2 pieces of 2-inch PVC that look like this. You could actually knock the crap out of somebody with one of these like this.
Nice.
Because it's PVC. It's very hard. Once it actually goes on the 3/4-inch PVC, however, babe, don't hit anybody with it. Oops. At this point, there's actually 2 different directions that you can go in. First of all, before you go any further, one thing here that I've noticed with different reference images is this is actually rounded into this 3/4-inch piece here. So you could take a rotary tool and round it all off, or an angle grinder, or some kind of badass sanding machine. Personally, I would probably use my rotary tool to really shave off material, and then when it gets close, use my belt sander, and then kind of work up the grits from there with my palm sander, and then all the way up to a sanding sponge and stuff. If I was doing this perfectly, but with that, I would also be using Bondo, fillers, spot putties, and crap like that. This is a speed build where I'm just doing this rather quickly. So these are the 2 end pieces here. And I'm going to leave it like this. I kind of like that look. Like it's bolted together. This is kind of your starter weapon for Aerith, and Aerith lives in the slums. So I feel like she would just have a weapon made out of crap lying around there, like steel fittings and stuff like that, to be a staff, which is what she felt she was proficient with. So I'm going to kind of leave it that way, personally. If I was doing this for a client, I would leave it up to them, because this would be, in my opinion, where their budgeting options really start. You know, for all these details and whatnot, and this piece right here would probably be done a little bit differently, just because of how I roll. So this is kind of where budgeting options start for a client, if I had one doing this for. I'm doing this for Dezzy. This is a free prop for her.
And I don't really care, because he's being nice enough to make me.
She doesn't have any room to bitch about it.
Oh, shut up. I'm your girlfriend. I can bitch about whatever I want, technically. I mean,
and I assure you, you probably will. One other thing I wanted to go over real quick before I actually do anything on it, because I'm probably going to do that next, because it's another quick part while I'm working on the end pieces here. The end cap. There's 2 ways to do that. I opted to be a cheap bastard, and use some of the Sintra that I already have. But if you want to be an even cheaper bastard, you could use EVA foam. Either plug this in, or just over the top, or whatever, or however the hell you wanted to do it. Or you could get, while you're getting other materials, spend $3 more, I think it is, on 2-inch PVC end caps, and they would just fit right over, and you would cement them on, or just put them on however the hell you wanted to do it, and done. Me, I'm just going to do it this way because I like doing things a little bit the hard way, and I felt like saving $3.
Because I'm worth it.
That's basically what it boils down to. I felt like saving some money.
And I don't complain, because he picks me up from the airport.
Yes. I'm going to go to the very edge here. This is just a small piece of Sintra that I have lying around. And I'm going to go to the edge and got my marker. It said you need these things. They're very important. If you can't spend $1 on a marker, there's a problem there.
I bought a salad for lunch tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm taking some leftover pork ribs for lunch tomorrow because I got called in to work at 8. So.
At 8 a.m.?
Yep.
Can you wake me up?
Sure. I'll try.
For those of you who also don't know, my boyfriend's my alarm clock, even though he fucking lives in Texas and I'm in Denver. I still have him call to wake me up because I don't wake up. I don't sleep well. Alright, so right now, this wig, I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of looks like a fucking jellyfish right now. Because it's such a short wig and it just has those little sections I'm trying to tack onto it. I'm gonna trim some of the.
No, I'm not trying to.
Yes, you were saying stuff.
I'm not trying to cut this out perfectly. I'm just trying to get it kind of there. Main reason is this is already going to be a bit wider, and it's going to get put on top of here, super glued on, and then I'm going to cut off the excess. Or sand it off with my Dremel. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm probably going to cut it off there because that's cleaner. A little bit quicker, I think. Honestly, an X-Acto knife is probably better for these kind of shapes to cut out. But I don't quite remember where mine is right at this second. And this works just fine for the time being. Now, normally, when cutting stuff out like this, like multiples of it, they would say, or I would even say, you know, don't use what you originally based your first cutout off of. Just so if you make mistakes on the first one, you're not copying that over, make more mistakes, and make it more janked as it goes along. But as I said, these don't have to be perfect, and they're actually getting cut a bit wider than they need to be.
Sorry, I'm penning more extensions that way. Basically, this customer wants a Zod wig from Superman. It's the movie that came out. I don't remember because I don't like Superman. Sorry, I don't.
No, you're not.
I'm not sorry. I hate Superman. You do too. That's part of why we're dating.
Yep.
Except you're Team Cap and I'm Team Iron Man for this, and well, yeah.
Yep. The irony, if I actually could get that Winter Soldier arm done in time, that we would be dressing up for our team.
We would be. Holy shit.
Black Widow is. I do believe Black Widow is on Team Iron Man, which is kind of weird.
Well, they also didn't do it in the comics where Bucky is her lover either. She wanted to find the cucumber instead.
What?
Because she's in it for the Hulk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't her and Bucky have a thing in the comics?
Yes, they did.
But then again, her and Deadpool did too.
Black Widow's just with everyone in the comics. She really kind of is.
Alright. So you got two little end cap pieces there. And those can just get glued on like that. And I'm going to make it overlap a bit because I'm just going to take this knife or this other knife over here, whichever one I feel like using at the time, and I'm just going to shave all that crap off.
You sounded like a used car salesman right
yeah.
there.
I'm sorry, I do have a salesman voice because that's kind of what not a car salesman voice. I don't sell cars, but I sell computers all day long. It's what I do. I'm a computer technician by trade. Full-time job.
And I'm a seamstress by trade.
This is just regular Loctite super glue.
This wig looks like a fucking jellyfish. I have an easier way. I'm gonna do this after get this done. So I have an easier way to put in extensions. So I'm gonna do that way after I put this on a head and move it, because I'm actually having a lot of trouble since it's not sewing an extension tract, it's sewing it to the wig, so I'm having a harder time than I would have just making actual extensions. So I have an idea. And this is actually how I normally put them in, too, so I'm gonna go and grab my bottle of tacky glue. And my duckbill clips, and oh wait, I have a bottle of tacky glue right there. Awesome. Even better. And since this is a short wig, I think I only need one duckbill clip, and I'm trying to see where I have one. Oh, no, I moved them all. Whatever. Okay. Alright.
I'm just making sure this is all overlapping everywhere with other stuff that is more precise. Of course, you make sure it's going on more precisely. For this kind of thing, it doesn't freaking matter. As long as it's over it. I planned on cutting flesh anyways. Normally what I would do...
what? Cutting
what?
Flesh?
Yes, I'm cutting my flesh on camera. It's what I do. I love it.
Shut up, you and your sarcasm.
I'm cutting this flush, baby. Flush.
I heard flesh. I was one letter off. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Normally, on other things, what I would do is use, I would get that flush sanded and everything, and then what I would do is I would take some spot putty and put over around the seam there and sand that down so there's no seam line. This way, it's with the super glue, it still has a little bit of a seam line, but it's not like if we use something like hot glue or this PVC cement stuff here, which I have used with Sintra onto PVC before. I did it for my Zactor belts, and I didn't really like it as much. I guess it has its pros and cons. This stuff isn't as rigid as super glue. It's a bit more flexible. So I guess it's good for like pipes and crap, but I didn't really care for it for doing Sintra PVC. PVC to PVC, it works really well because, like I said, it's flexible. And it gives it a little bit of give there so it doesn't crack the joint or anything. The ends here aren't going to be as important for doing that kind of crap. So these are going to set for a minute, and then I'll go ahead and get that cut. One thing I haven't mapped out yet is the length of the overall rod for this thing. I am literally doing this all off the top of my head.
He just has to remember that his girlfriend's a short 4'11" little dwarf.
Yeah, so she's only like 5 foot, and from some of the pictures,
you're
it looks
giving
like
me too much height,
just
babe.
as tall as her. It looks like the staff is a little bit taller than her. It looks like it's a little bit shorter than her. So I think I'm going to go with wherever the hell it falls between just as tall and a little bit taller.
I'm really short.
Yeah. So
he's
one thing
6'1"
to
and
keep
I'm
in
5
mind
foot.
with your measurements is, when using couplers especially, is these 3/4 inch ones and these 2 inch ones. This whole thing here I think, is about 2 inches. Both of them are. I can measure it to verify that real quick. No, it's about 1.5 inches. I was a little off. So each side of this is going to sink in about 3/4 of an inch into your PVC. So kind of keep that in mind. You're going to want to cut it a little bit longer than what you originally intend. I was a little bit off there because I thought at first it was only 1 inch long and it's 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches. Whoops. And a thing like this where it has a couple of joints like this, it's going to affect it. Assume I didn't take any of that into account with this whole thing, we'd probably be off by, what, 6 inches or so? Yeah, something like that. We might be off by about 6 inches at the most-ish. The more joints you have and the more screw-ups you make with those kind of measurements, the more length you lose. Now, if you cut it a little too long, a little bit too much longer, then it's going to be a little bit taller. So this should have had enough time to really set here. Super glue. So I'm just going to take my knife and cut on it.
So I pretty much used like all of my tacky glue on Zach and Yami, so I have to go buy another bottle after work tomorrow. So I can't do this the quick way of basically tacking in the extensions with glue. So I'm going to just whip stitch it. And I've gotten a lot faster at hand sewing because I'm an alterationist, so that's what I do all day, every day. I hand sewed for 6.5 hours today. My eyes hurt. Not even a lie. They hurt like a bitch.
Apparently, there's a lot more swearing that goes on her channel too.
Shut up, babe.
I can't really bitch about it because it's not on my channel, but. Now, there are easier ways to do this. Like, I do have my belt sander. I could have already had both of these done by now. But again, that's not the point. If you do have better tools to do this kind of crap, and you're not trying to prove a point, then use better tools. Seriously.
So these extensions are going to get nice and whip stitched in.
One thing I feel like I should point out, just because I have this funny feeling that some kid's going to be doing this and cutting towards themselves, hurt themselves, and say they watched something in this video. Whenever you're cutting things, cut away from yourself. Keep yourself out of the way of the blade.
I am very, very itchy from cutting Zach's wig. I got all that hair on me.
I'm going to go ahead and make sure we're keeping up with comments and stuff. I forgot to open up a YouTube page there.
Yeah, I can't, like, on mine now that... Because I can't subscribe to myself, I'm having trouble, like, opening it. Other than on my window, which I think is weird, but okay.
have one person watching.
Is it my mom? Hi, Mom.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Because it's not me.
It's muted. So, doesn't look like we've had anybody comments or anything. If you do have any questions about anything, go ahead and comment in chat or whatever. Now that I actually have the freaking window open. So that is one side, cut relatively flush there. Now to do this other side.
Yeah, this wig isn't a hard wig. It's actually very simple. What just takes the longest is measuring the hair tracks, and then putting them in place. So I should tell you something funny about work.
Okay.
I had a bustle that I told you at work how, like, for every $1 we charge is a minute of work sort of thing. They're like, oh, do that bustle faster. I have 3.5 hours in which to complete this bustle according to your ticket. I am taking my time.
Uh-huh.
I did it in a little under 3.5 hours.
What do they say about that?
They can't say shit because I did it within the time. But they're just telling me to hurry. I'm like, no.
Well, the reason they do that is because, well, do they refund the money if you finish it faster?
No.
Okay, that's why they want you to do it quicker.
We don't.
We do the same thing at our job.
Well, the thing is, these are the bridal dresses, too. I'm going to take my time with it. I will work faster when I'm stuck sewing the dress 10 minutes before the customer comes in. But if I don't have to, I'm going to make sure it comes out really nice and pretty. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Your job is precise too, but at the same time, if customers bitch too with my job, they're pretty vicious. I don't know how they are at yours.
They can get pretty vicious with mine too. Most people come into the shop thinking that we push magic buttons that fix everything. If anybody watching this is a computer technician for trade, back me up here. You've probably had your own experiences with that. I think what I'm going to go ahead and try to do here is go ahead and cut a little 45-degree angle cut into this.
Oh, and
Or just say
FYI,
screw it and then go to my Dremel.
I forgot to mention this. When we move into the house, Oshi can't be an outdoor cat because there are way too many stray dogs.
Nah, he's not an outdoor cat here, anyways.
Well, I know he wants to be.
Reason.
I know he wants to be.
I know he wants to be, but... Okay. Remember that part where I said I'm going to use minimal power tools as I can? This is the part where I bust out my Dremel and knock this out real quick. A little rotary tool you could actually get from Harbor Freight for $10 if you don't already have one. If you don't have a Harbor Freight around you can go to Home Depot and get a Dremel. They're considerably more expensive and do the same thing, but a lot better and faster. And when I say considerably more expensive, the one at Harbor Freight is $10. This was $80.
But it also works better too.
Oh, hell yeah, it does. This thing can cut through steel with my cutting bit. So with that being said, safety first. Anytime you're using high-powered sanders and stuff like that, or a respirator or a dust mask or something, I'm wearing a respirator because that's what I've got and that's what I like. And I'm also going to mute the mic. in just a minute.
Oop, I found my little scissors. Yay! The one downside about this wig being so short is that it's hard for the fibers to stay out of the way as I'm trying to sew. And this is why I was having a lot of trouble with the machine too. Oh, I need a back massage. Maybe I'll get one on payday.
I was actually talking there for a second, and then I realized, hey, dumbass, you forgot to turn on the mic.
Good job, babe.
You might be able to see it
Good
on
job.
the camera here. I don't have an auto-focusing camera. It's kind of focused more to this crap down here. But you still can't see the color very well. Part of the reason I normally use a dirty sanding sponge is just to show that contrast. This gray area here, the gray ring, is where it is beveled. It seemed like that in some of the reference materials. Some of them show it flat, some of it show it totally rounded. So I kind of went with the bevel because it's right in the middle there. I was originally thinking of not doing it at all, but then I decided, screw it, I feel like having a little bit of fun here. And getting covered in PVC dust. Because that's what I do.
Are you a dusty old crow?
No.
Not today.
No, not yet. Also, this little brush here, these things are so freaking handy. If you don't have one of these for doing this kind of thing, get one. I don't know how much these things cost. I can't imagine they're very expensive, but get one. They are great for like brushing yourself off and brushing off your work area. Because I'm a little afraid to vacuum this kind of crap up with my shop vac, but I'm also paranoid about ruining that thing because I just got it.
And it was a good deal.
It was a really good deal. It was like half the cost of a new one. It's only like a couple gallons. No, it's like a 1 gallon. No, 2.5 gallon. It's a very small one. And it only gets up to 1.5 horsepower for the vacuuming motor. But so it's not very powerful. I would not make a dust collection system based off of this thing. But yeah.
Maybe you can get the Schnee family to help you.
Ha.
Reference humor. My clamp needs to be fixed.
So that ends here. This is the part that Aerith uses to beat the shit out of people. When not being used as a healer, she's being used as a really shitty
Melee
person. Yeah. So that's that. These aren't the exact same length. If I put these side by side, you can see one's like a 1/4 inch longer than the other. I'm not stressing about that, just because these things are going to be like 3 or 4 feet apart from each other. So
no one's gonna even notice.
Yeah, nobody's gonna notice.
Nor do I really give a fuck. And it's my prop anyway.
So it's 5 feet. 60 inches.
60 inches? That's bigger than me.
Yeah, it's by an inch, babe.
I'm just saying, that's
I'm
still
going
bigger
to say
than me.
64 total. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be the same size or a little bit bigger than you. Go based off the small.
So Colleen might go to A-Con.
Good, she should.
I will be
She
happy.
seems
Colleen's my one of my best friends. I want her to be one of my bridesmaids whenever I get married. Because she'd probably be the only friend that fucking showed up, too. My friends suck.
So 41 inches. 3 inches. What is that? Huh.
What you do?
Oh, I didn't do anything. I just, I don't know. Scaling down props for you is always so weird to me because it's just like have to make them
so tiny.
Smaller.
Babe, you're 1 foot and 2 inches taller than me.
I'm just kind of laying this out here on the table so I have a better idea of how it's kind of going to, how big this thing's actually going to kind of be. Because I like a more clear idea. I always have a hard time picturing it in my head until it's time.
Okay, now that it has more hair, it looks like a mullet, but it's a pretty mullet. Zod has very, very short hair, so she just wanted it that, but long. The same style up front, which is that buzz cut, and then long. So it's like a femme mullet thing from the 90s that's kind of going on with this week. The she mullet.
64 inches.
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah. Another 2 foot. So if you're scaling this thing down like I am, you can actually get by with one 10-foot thing of the 2-inch PVC and cut that down as needed, or get 2 of the 2-foot ones, whatever. And then a 2-foot thing of 3-inch PVC. My girlfriend's really short.
I am very short. He's 6'1" and I'm 4'11".
Yep.
We have quite the height difference.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. I gotta measure it real quick, but mark it. But yeah, I'll cut it. Pretty close. Not perfect. That's about 2 foot-ish. And I'm going to measure 6 inches. So 10 inches.
Oh, good news about the house, though, is my grandmother, she fixes stairs. She had them pay to get fixed.
Nice. It's not like I wouldn't have fixed them when we got there.
She actually had that done because she had to re-rent the house.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So these are my 3 marks here. The whole length that I'm about to cut off here is we have the whole thing at 2 foot or 24 inches, whatever helps you sleep at night. And then from that, I cut 6 inches, so that's going to be our handle piece. And then the remainder was, 18 inches? And that's getting cut in half at 9 inches. So.
I got ideas for the house, though.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be really cool if, like, you made your family crest and then put it on the front of the house. Because my neighbors are very, very Mexican. And if they can fucking have, like, their shit, we can do, like, a cooler thing.
I'm not that proud of my family to really give a shit about my family crest.
Okay, then we can put the McClintock one, because I'm a McClintock.
Look, I'd rather put the Hyrule family crest on.
Babe, let's do that! My house is...
Or the black hand.
Babe, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that. Oh my god. If you hear us, like, talking about a house, it's because we're moving in together, too. And I like to daydream about shit at work to get me through the day. So I got, like, all these cool ideas. I'll probably find out sometime tomorrow if the house is when it'll be free. Because from what that lady told my mom is that she's getting her house fixed, so it's a temp thing.
And yeah, I'm just letting these fall to the ground as they come off here. I'm actually sawing through them pretty quickly. Again, these aren't being done exact because it's a little bit harder to do that with hand tools. My hand shifts a lot and stuff. So with doing that, like I said, my hand shifts and it gets a little bit off here and there. I prefer to put the ends where it's all janked under these couplers here. So nobody really has to see that or notice it. With a miter saw, I would just have to accommodate for the width of the blade. For the scoping saw, I don't really have to do that. I just got to get close. So I could use a small marker to make the thing more exact. And then you could also get a PVC cutter or a pipe cutter to do this. It's another optional tool you could get. I don't really care for doing that, so I have not. Whew. All right. We're just going to sand off the ends and get the rest of that crap off of there. Also like to kind of go over just the very edge of the inside with a little corner of the sponge there. Helps get any of that extra crap off there. You will always get like PVC dust and shreds and shit like that up in there as you're doing the thing. So this, our handle piece. Now, if I really want to make this perfect, I could take this over to my belt sander and make that nice and flush. You can kind of see there's a little bit of an angle to it. That's just the nature of doing it this way. I'm gonna fit that on there like that, real quick. Just kind of a dry fit where I can just twist it on and off. This is going to give me an idea of how everything is. And here's to hoping that Acon staff actually approves this. So
I'm sure they will.
We have Aerith's staff, basically. That's pretty much it. At this point, you just need to paint it and be done with it.
Holy shit, are you done?
I'm going to do, basically.
Oh my god.
At this point, what I am going to go ahead and do, I told you it was a speed build. What I am going to go ahead and do is I want one of these halves to separate from here, just to make traveling with it a little bit easier. This thing is 5 foot. So I'm going to, I'll pick a range line. I'm going to separate it there. And that's all going to get cemented on there. That's going to get cemented to this piece. This will get cemented to this piece here. And it'll all get glued together. And after that point, I can take it apart, put it up on my painting jig off camera over here, and I might even get to show you real quick how I paint this shit. So, which is basically coating it in primer, doing a little bit of wet sanding or something on it to make it nice and smooth. I might even omit that process because I'm moving the crap out of this anyways. And then, you know, one detail I actually just remembered that I do need to go ahead and do is something really close or really small, really quick. So I got to put those googly eyes on here on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the camera after a second and vacuum all this crap up. And
what?
Apparently we're not getting audio.
Oh, who is even watching?
Jordan.
Jordan K. It's not showing on my thing, so I can hear it on my end.
Yeah, we got audio.
I can totally hear it.
Oh, they're getting audio, they're just not getting video.
What?
So,
but the video's showing on my thing, too.
Showing on yours?
Yeah.
Let me see. I gotta refresh the page.
Like it shows on my little stream thingy. Not the software, but on the... on YouTube, on the stream manager thing. What?
Well, the video is not really updating, so we're not getting any video.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yep.
Every time we try to do something. Every time.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead real quick so I can vacuum all this crap up.
Well, just in case, I've also I'm recording at the same time. So that way, even if things aren't like perfect, I can re-upload the stream. So to get very far.
Okay, now that that's all vacuumed up, googly eye time. Or should I glue these on there first? I think I'm going to cement these together and then do the googly eyes. This way I don't have to worry about twisting it and jacking those up just as that glue is so fresh on there. So I'll go ahead and attach these first and get these attached on here too. Oh, one thing I did not actually factor into my material list is electrical tape. You can use electrical tape, black paint, whatever the hell you want to do for the handle. I'm using electrical tape.
Because you wanted to be cool?
Yeah, totally. Because electrical tape, guys, so cool. It's like the newest real hip thing to do.
Babe, shut up. If you can't tell, my boyfriend's a fucking asshole.
It's only the second time you mentioned that, so...
Yeah, you're an ass, but you're cute and sweet. So right now, here's the mullet wig. It's interesting, to say the least. I'm actually going to fix the mullet wig just a bit with some pins. And add some more extensions.
And also, from my understanding, this primer and cement stuff is bad for your skin, I think. So if you think you're going to get it on your hands, wear gloves.
Or if you're a Dezzy who gets like an allergic reaction to everything.
Yeah. Vinyl gloves, Walmart, $1. 6 pairs of gloves. You'll be fine.
I'm having actually a harder time putting extensions in this wig than I normally would. And the main reason is the hair fibers are so short that they are not held in place by that duckbill clip. So whenever I try to put in new extension sets, it's just very, very difficult. Because as you can see, this hair fiber is like 2 inches long.
I don't know how well y'all can see this on camera here, but whenever I'm applying the cement here, you do it very thin. It doesn't take a whole lot of cement. You just press it in there and turn. And turn. I'm going to get that as tight. And I'm going to quickly peel off this excess here. What this does is this basically melts the foam, welds it to the foam, PVC, and kind of welds it together forever. Like the idea of marriage, that doesn't seem to work here in America.
Pardon?
I said it welds it together forever, like the idea of marriage. That doesn't seem to work that well here in America.
Are you hinting something?
No, I'm not.
You're just
I'm making fun of the fact that I'm making fun of the whole sanctity of marriage thing.
Mm.
That's all I'm doing, babe.
Okay.
You know, but the gays are ruining that.
Oh, okay. I'm tired. And itchy.
I noticed.
Huh?
Said I noticed.
It was a long day.
This shit does stink.
Like Princess Fluffy Butt?
Probably. I don't know how your dog smells.
She smells. She needs a grooming.
Her bad. Shit.
It's because she's shedding. She needs to be groomed. That way they can rip out all that undercoat. You can see her play with Monster. Monster's awesome.
Alright. So that one's together. Now, I could make this to where it comes apart in these 2-foot increments in 3 pieces, but I don't feel like doing that. This helps make it just manageable enough here. And that's all we're trying to do by making it come apart, is make it a little bit more manageable to travel with.
Because you're the one who has to
travel on my little car cons. You want the easiest options. So we're going to slide these over the side for a minute. Get these out of the way and hope to God they don't fall down. That's going to set up for a little bit. Now we have some googly eyes. I'm going to pick out the first 4 ones that fall out. They all just happen to be the same freaking color. These are multicolored ones. It doesn't matter what color you use. They're all getting painted over anyways. And I'm just going to eyeball this. Kind of.
You're eyeballing the googly eyes?
Yes.
Why is that so amusing to me?
I don't know. Google it.
Be with someone who makes you laugh, people.
Okay.
Huh?
I just got something in my eye, totally at random. So, and these little marks I'm putting at the end is just for me to line up from side A to side B, or side B to side A, side X to Y, whatever.
From side to side.
Yeah, from side to side, because it's only supposed to be on 2 different sides here. Now, again, this is one of those things where if I was doing commission for somebody, I would measure this out. I would make it about as perfect as I can.
But girlfriend isn't as important. Gosh.
My girlfriend isn't paying me to make this.
I got you a $90 cowhide. See the silence? You know.
My girlfriend's sponsored by Zach Cosplay. And therefore, in return, I'm kind of sponsoring hers. Also keep in mind, for my normal commissions, I have a minimum of 3 months. This I'm doing in a single night. What the hell keeps getting in my eyes? I didn't think I was going to need eye protection just to sit here. But apparently I was wrong. Big surprise. So we take her googly eye. This is probably like the easiest freaking part of this whole goddamn thing. We take her googly eye. We put glue on it, and we put it on. Fun part about this, don't glue yourself to this thing. I say that, and watch me get glue on myself.
You got glue on yourself.
That happens every time. Getting glue on yourself and gluing yourself to it are two completely different things.
No, just as you say that, I think that's kind of funny.
Because this is curved, you're going to have to kind of hold this on there a bit, just so it doesn't pop up. That's part of the reason I use googly eyes here, is because it helps. They're plastic and they can form around stuff. God damn it. See, I just about glued myself to it. Like I said.
I'm amused.
You can actually, this is part of the reason I don't use activator. Okay? Shit terrifies me. You can get what's called super glue activator, and what you do is, one of the better ways to use it is you spray the activator on one surface and then put the glue on the other surface, and when you put them together, they bond forever, instantly. Without doing that, it takes a minute for it to really set on there. But the main reason I'm adding glue to the eye here and not to here is because I want as little excess as possible on here. And as I say that, there's glue dripping down out of this thing. So I think I'm just about to say, fuck it.
Oh, babe.
I'll go ahead and keep trying to keep this as clean as possible.
It's fine. I just wanted it for
pictures.
pictures.
That's what everybody wants their props for. What are you talking about? You're not a special snowflake in that.
Well, some people want their props for contests.